Alright, rise and shine, people. It is the 16th of January 2024, second day of the week. It's a typical International Chest Tuesday, because everyone else who goes to the gym on a Monday will train their chest, and that's exactly why I train my chest on a Tuesday. Okay, I got kicked out by a security. Good morning to you as well. I got, Okay, I'll just make it quick. Anyways, as I was saying, primary lift of the day will be a bench press. Specifically, it'll be a close grip bench press, trying to target my hamstring, my triceps. Exactly the same thing that I did last week, but with a little bit of more load and a little bit of more perfection. Just trying to be better than last week, trying to be better than yesterday. That's the goal of this game, I guess. Alright, let's head to the gym then. It is freezing out there. I had to walk in the blistering cold for a few minutes. So in order to let my engine run again, I need to boost things up. Let's do some bench press. Time for a warm-up. Believe it or not, I really think that a strong bench press comes from a strong build of the back. The funny fact is, the muscles that actually do the bench press will be your chest and your triceps, mainly. But the main muscle that is maintaining the weight on top of you is your back. If your back is not able to hold the weight, which is constantly pushed down on you, gravitational force, your chest will actually sink and die even before you have the chance to push the bar away from you. So, as I said, back muscles, essential. Speaking of which, for my taste, this motion also kind of opens my chest up so I can go more into the stretch. I know it's kind of controversial. Some doesn't really seem to agree with the point of doing an arch while doing a bench press. I'm not gonna start up a fight here, so everyone can do whatever they want or whatever they think that is right. For me, this is basically where I'm trying to get to today, so one more set of this. With a heavy load, I really tend to go. So that's also why I'm trying to strengthen my wrist. All right, I think I'm ready. Let's go do some bench press now. Now with a close grip. Okay. The moment I will never forget in my whole life is the very first time I actually benched 2 plates, 100 kg. Like back then, I was really obsessed with the weight. I was so close for a pretty long time, I would say. I was kind of way behind comparing myself to the other gym buddies that I had. A friend of mine, he is actually the one who made me go to the gym. No, he didn't actually make me go to the gym. He's the one who opened my eyes up in the world of powerlifting and in general lifting. Yeah, he used to weigh at least 10 kilos less than I do. He was already on his way to a 120 kg bench press. Crazy motherfucker. Yeah, we basically used to train every single day together after school. I would say this way, we didn't need anything else in our lives. It was an amazing time that I had with my friends back then. We would drive off to the supermarket after school and bought ourselves tons of shit. Energy drinks, sandwiches, protein shakes, whatever. And we would just talk about lives the whole time. Maybe this is me kind of missing the old times that I had. Now we are all apart. One of us stays up north. One of us is in München and I'm living in Aachen. And yeah, that's basically how I started lifting with my friends. I was the weakest one among all of us. And yeah, that's why I'm pretty happy that I didn't give up and I'm still on my way and I'm moving on. So yeah. All right, first set of the day. 2 major mistakes that I made, again. First of all, I didn't do a soft touch. I think I kind of let the bar sink into my chest. Not gonna let this happen in the second set. And second of all, I think my grip was a bit too narrow, so the angle of my wrist wasn't really optimal. Yeah, a slightly wider grip, and I'll try to focus on the holding on top. Somehow still not that satisfying. A moment of appreciation from my coach. A text that he sent me yesterday kind of really touched my heart, so that's kind of why I felt like sharing this. He texted me, I don't know if my way of coaching is the right one, but I think that leaving an athlete in his comfort zone is the best way for him to stagnate. If you've given me the opportunity to coach you, it's so that I can help you strengthen everything that could make you stronger. If you were already as strong as possible, you wouldn't need my help. So I'm not here to tell you that you're doing things right. The aim is to tell you what you're not doing right. And the first thing an athlete needs to be strong is mentally. With a strong mind, you can make infinite progress. So I'm not really a person who needs a lot of compliments for the things that I've achieved. I'm more of a person who tries to focus on the things that I don't have yet, that I'm not capable of at the moment, which some might find a bit negative, not really focusing on the success one has made. I don't really like the feeling to be satisfied with the things that I have already achieved, because this is not really going to push me harder, further in a longer term. So I really like the point of view that he has. I really think there is a really thin piece of paper between arrogance and Yep, as you guys probably would have realized, my microphone died after this moment, so this is how I'm trying to wrap things up. I'm kind of sad because I put a lot of effort into this video, this particular scene, because I was talking about a few things that I wanted to talk about, but we'll probably have to do this some other time. Just to briefly give you an idea of what I was saying, I was talking about the difference between arrogance and confidence. And for me, arrogance is a no-go. I just don't think this is a personality I want to hold on to. Also, confidence is something on the edge, in my taste. I just don't like the feeling to be satisfied. Yet, for me, being humble is the way of living, and I just think this is the best way to open up your potentials, to learn something new, to agree with the point that you are not perfect. I hope that I could come back to this topic one day, but apparently the audio is gone, so we'll have to postpone the story. But maybe this is actually a good chance to talk a bit more about my training and about myself. Because usually when I'm in my set, I don't talk that much. But now I'm just watching the video that I produce and leaving a bit of comments. This is the very first set that I did and kind of concentrated on the eccentrics. Yeah, and the bar path felt much better than last week. And this is me thinking that my microphone is still working, talking to my microphone. To be honest, I don't remember what I was talking about. I think I was talking about the pauses that I have between my sets. 2 minutes of rest, that's what I was trying to concentrate on. It's kind of devastating to see me talking into the silence. And yes, this is my second set. I would say relatively long eccentrics while I'm stretching my chest. I try to focus on the bar path. I mean, I could still see my elbows wiggling, which is something that I need to work on. I'm really unstable and I'm not really familiar with this movement. Alright, that's all I did. But yeah, I think it went much better than last week. Yeah, so this is the last set before I realized that my microphone was out of battery, so I might as well just let the audio from the internal mic of my camera to fill in the audios of this video, because I don't think I'll have a lot of time to review my video and talk for whatever minutes this video is going to be. So yeah, enjoy it, guys. The microphone is dead, and the internal microphone of my case is also not working. Whatever, let's do my set. I'm here to train, not to film. I think the first superset of inverted rows and hanging leg raises seem to be fine, but you can still, yeah, you can definitely see me swinging. I try to put much more tension in my lower abs, trying to balance myself without swinging. This didn't really seem to work out that well today. And to be honest, I was kind of mad at myself. I think it is kind of normal when you have a set with which you are not really satisfied with. You just try to blame it on yourself, that you could have done more. But I think this was basically what I could have done, so yeah. I just really hope that I'll be consistent with the abs exercises and someday I'll just get better. Yeah. I couldn't film all of my sets because I didn't want to lose a lot of time changing camera angles and stuff. So I think I filmed the first, third, and the last set. But yeah, you can see me struggling a lot. Also, by the hanging leg raises, I decided to do 2 reps, take a small pause because my hands were opening up. So many weaknesses. And here I decided to do the hanging leg raises without the L-sit, but with my knees folded, making it a bit easier, but I just really wanted to concentrate on the eccentrics. And now this is my very last set that I did. Might as well try to pull a bit harder. I see that I'm missing out a few reps without touching the bar actually. Maybe not, maybe it's the camera angle. I definitely reckon doing a few reps without touching the bar. I'm not really proud of my sets. This was the longest 2 minutes I had for a long time, I guess. But I see that I'm still trying to give my best while doing the sets. I don't think the eccentrics were as long as they were supposed to be, 2 seconds. But this was one of the hardest sets that I ever had. So I would say technically I was fighting against my demons inside. Demons telling me, just give up. I don't think the pauses were meant to be. It was more of a tactical thing. I was thinking of doing 2 reps and taking a short pause, regenerate, and do my reps again. Yeah, this. But I'm not ashamed to show you guys how I struggle in my sets. This is one of my biggest weaknesses, and I'm working on it. I'm trying to fix it. I'm aware of my weaknesses, and I think the biggest mistake you could make is fear of failing. I would say this set is a failure, just like last week. But hopefully, after a few weeks, maybe a few months, I'll be bombing these sets with 10 clean reps without letting go of the bar. It can only go upwards, you know? And finally, the time 11 minutes. It took me 6 minutes more than I took last week, but I would say the sets were supposed to be harder than last week, so yeah, we'll get better. There isn't a lot to say to my biceps curls and my triceps extensions. As you guys can see, in the first set, I didn't really hold the dumbbell the right way, just trying to ease off the tension in my lower arms that basically gave up after my supersets. So, in the second and the third and the last set, I tried to hold the dumbbell a bit neutrally. And yes, of course, I went lower with the weights. So my reps seem to be much better than the previous ones. I tried to leave out the momentum out of the game, try to squeeze my biceps, and also focus on the eccentrics, as usual. My triceps extensions, the only thing I changed comparing with last week is not to completely lock out my arms so I could have constant tension in my arms. Yeah, it was a good pump, I would say. I think the hardest part of today's training was to accept the fact that I had a failure in between my whole session. So I had to live on with this terrible feeling of I failed. It's ridiculous, but I was thinking about the previous superset that I did, kind of regretting not pushing myself until the very end, and that's why I took very short pauses between my triceps extensions just to. I don't like to say this, but yeah, I think I was kind of punishing me. But still, a good lesson learned today again. Some days will be good, some days will be bad. You just need to accept that when there are good days, there are also bad days. It's hard to live with it, but the point is not to give up. Don't be afraid to be ashamed. Don't be afraid to be mad. Emotions are natural. You just need to learn how to live with them. I know this sounds so basic, but the most important thing is just not to give up. I really think the ones who succeed in life are the ones who manage to stand up even if they fall. So, people, let's just not fear to fall. We just need to learn how to stand up. It's always the darkest before the dawn. Wait until the sun shines on you. Thank you guys. See you tomorrow.